Lessons in life I have learned over time and I would like to impart to the younger generation. Hello, what's up everyone? Brittle Babe here again. How are you all doing, my friends and family? I hope that you are all having a good day. For today's video, I decided to be more laid back and not talk anything about a specific topic. We all know that in today's world, we are also caught up with work, school, and work, and other things that we forget to take a pause and do some life reflection. As for me, I live in the island of Boracay. I'm living a life probably most of you are dreaming of having. I could be wrong, but I figured living in a tourist destination is something most people would want. I work double jobs as a virtual assistant, I do remote work, and I still do my current DJ job. If you're gonna ask me, I love this life and I won't want to trade this for anything else right now, but I'm also proud to say that I do so much work for myself. I improved a lot mentally. I currently go to the gym and I have goals that I set for myself. Now you're probably asking, why is she sharing all this? My dear friends, it's not hard to think that content creation is such a tiring thing for anybody to do unless you have all the time, the money, and other resources to come up with content ideas or running a YouTube channel. Apart from me doing double jobs, I also want to concentrate on being more active here in YouTube, and I decided to share in here the lessons I have learned over time that can help anybody, especially for the younger generation. I have a lot of younger friends who are very deserving to have a good life, and it makes me feel sad that the biggest thing that they all miss is having a mentor, a system, a mentality, and all other drive to becoming good individuals. I would like to be that person. I would like to share my learnings throughout my life as a person who worked at a very young age, been around doing different jobs, went through a quarter life crisis, and how I got away with it, etc. No, I'm not gonna say I'm perfect. I simply would want to share in here what has worked for me and how I went from a clueless teenager to a more self-aware person that I am right now, which I'm also very proud of. If you're at the age of 18 or even younger than that, and you're somebody who is asking yourself, why is my life so hard? How can I go from this to this? Or if you have no single idea of what you want in life, or you're in the older generation, those who are at 23 and up, and you also feel the same, you may be a dropout in college, or you also already graduated but got stuck in doing nothing, not getting any jobs, or you're just to also hang up with things that are stopping you from living life. Hey, know that I was once where you are right now. I'm still even am actually. Problems never go. It's just a matter of how we're dealing with them to make our life easier. Now, I'm not gonna go through my life story. I'm not gonna go into details. I'm just gonna share in here with you the 5 out of the many lessons I learned in life in this video. Number 1, values. You need to have a system or you need to talk to yourself. Have a self-reflection on what your values are growing up and what are these values that you're gonna live by. Now, I'm naming this first because all of us are so affected with different things in our surroundings that affect our feelings, and we are very emotional people. We act according to how we feel. If we get easily demotivated, or we feel like we're losing control, or if we feel like our life is a mess because our boyfriend or our girlfriends broke up with us, or we're mad at our friends or for whatever reason, etc. I could go on and on about the things that affect our feelings because this is natural and we live by this every day. Our emotions are good. It's a part of our genetic makeup. It's one of the elements that make us as human beings, but it often puts us in a situation in where it could be hard for us to move on, or it will take us some time for us to improve our state of life because we always let our emotions affect our life or ourselves or our mood in every day. So in order for us to avoid this from happening, or to make it easy for us to pick ourselves up, remind yourself of the values that you have growing up. Remind yourself why you should not let people undermine you, discriminate you, underestimate you, or when you find yourself asking questions and your train of thought is so scattered that you don't know where to start or how to pick yourself up, remind yourself of the most basic value that you learned in life. For example, you're at the point where you don't know if you're doing the right thing, or you feel uncomfortable with some of the people in certain situations. Instead of letting that emotional aspect eat you by overthinking and making more wrong decisions or creating a gap between you and your friends, you may want to take a pause and ask yourself exactly right at that moment. If you were to ask yourself, depending on the values that you knew and learned growing up, what would you do right then? You see, guys, this is a very basic thing any person should do, yet a lot of us keep doing this because we unconsciously think that this process is unnecessary. But the truth is, creating wrong decisions start when you're not aware of what you're doing. That makes sense, right? Now you're going to tell me, Brit, I'm not really sure what my values are because this was not established in my surroundings early on. Tell you what, that is a very good point. I can relate to that because I grew up in a household where the paternal authority was no longer executed because my father got sick at a very young age. And compared to my mother, he is more strict when it comes to setting rules at home. But apart from that, I grew up in a generation where parents and their kids don't really share a lot about things. Growing up, it was hard for me to make decisions for myself. I did not know what were my principles or that I need to have one or values that I should implement in my life up until I turned, I'd say 30, just very recently, to be honest. Number 2, we are all innocent and ignorant until we start doing all the self-work that our body needs. Period. Remember a time when you were once reprimanded by your elders? I won't say your parents because they are already understood to be your life molder. They're there to guide you every step of the way, however way they can. I'm talking about an older friend, an older colleague, an older stranger. Remember when they tend to give you advices? Most of these are unsolicited and it leaves you feeling like you're being treated as somebody who doesn't know anything, and it's not a good feeling. You will hate that person. I can say this because I have gotten so many of this when I was working during my teenage years. I was so exposed early on to a set of older colleagues because I got myself a job in a casino and I have always acted like I got all my shit together. I was young, I was so energetic, I was so carefree, I was open to everyone, I was so bubbly. I was even sometimes a life of the party. I was a party starter. That's why a lot of people like me. Then I get all these comments from my other colleagues saying I'm too much, I should not be sharing my entire life to strangers. And I get it because I tend to be that person. I used to tell everyone about my life, my story, and all that stuff. At first I thought, why do you care? This bitch is probably jealous because I'm young and attractive and I have all these eyes on me. But then fast forward to now, I learned that the reason why she felt pointing out something, that I was doing something that was disturbing her, because it did not look good to be just an open book to anybody, especially that I was in a heavily predatory environment. Back then, I did not know what was happening, what I was gonna get myself into, because I did not know any better. I was very innocent. Although I was a ball of sunshine, I was setting myself up for something disastrous, but I did not know this back then. So this is just an example of when we are young, we mostly don't know what we're doing, and if we get advices from older people, we can learn to appreciate that, because if they genuinely are concerned with you, they will try to get you out of trouble. Although there are really others who just have ulterior motives, people that you meet in life who are not genuine. Those people who make mistakes even at the peak of their lives and, berate you, discriminate you, or point out something that's completely normal because they hate you for no reason. These are bullies, and yes, you will meet them along the way. There will be a lot of them. You just have to know who these people are. You just have to be more aware. Number 3, getting good education is better than getting a work that gives you immediate reward but is not stable. I'm not sure if a lot of you can relate, but this is something I tell the younger generation, especially to those who came from an average to a low-income family. As a teenager or a young adult, you may get frustrated that you're not able to buy the things that you want for yourself, especially in this generation that there's social media, Instagram, TikTok, and we see so many people, probably some of our friends, get the things they want because their parents have stable job, they're well off, and you tend to compare yourself from them. You will then tend to hate your parents because you're born in a poor family and you hate so many things. You will then hate yourself. But the problem here is you will end up losing your focus and you won't even know what to do because your mind is so hyper focused with not having anything compared to your friends. Now, let's say you do find a way to make money, whatever that is. If it's something with a huge income, you will then get to think, I don't have to go to school. I'm just gonna do this work forever and I'm all good. My dear friend, that is a trap. I'm talking about jobs that generate a salary that will cover the expenses, your daily needs, heck, the daily needs of your family, and other things that you thought you could not buy for yourself. That feeling of getting your first salary is the best. You will feel as if you're living an adult life for earning that. The next thing you know, weeks turn into months,
Months turn into years, and you transfer from one company to the other doing the same type of work, and you get binded into a loop where you only know is to do the same work over and over again because that pays the bill.
you live paycheck to paycheck. You get stuck. Unless you grow a brain and realize that what you're doing is not right, it's not efficient. Having a job at a young age is exciting, but the way to go is to do that while also working on what takes you to a productive journey ahead, and that is by learning. The most obvious example is finishing school, or if you learn some of these courses offered online, which there are a lot of them nowadays, anything that you can reap benefits later on in your life. Personally, that is something I was not able to do because I was so latched into the job that was giving me 3 to 4 times what a minimum age earner was earning back then. I did not go back to school, and this is something I would want for myself if the right timing shows up for me. I will definitely go back to school or learn something that I don't know yet for more income stream. Number 4, creating a meaningful relationship. Once you get the financial part sorted, you then get busy with making money and improving yourself, that you also forget to work on the relationship that you have with the people around you. Being an adult is fun, and at the same time it's hard for several factors, and one of them is you are actually going out to the world and meeting people and really getting to know them, and also discovering their values and building a community for yourself that is healthy and beneficial to you. When you are so caught up with work and all other things, brown out. When you're so caught up with work and when you're doing all these things and when you meet these people along the way, you will find yourself not engaging with them on a deeper level. Nowadays, we are always on our phones, and when we are in gatherings, this takes away the time that we can all be using to getting to know each other. As a result, we grow up as avoidant individuals who are uncomfortable with meaningful engagements because we train ourselves to just keep our thoughts in our head by not practicing communicating and giving each other time to actually know each other. Number 5, and what all those other lessons I mentioned are all connected to, is finding yourself, knowing who you truly are as a person. I mentioned earlier that I started realizing all my mistakes and wrongdoings when I stepped in on my 30s. I had a moment when I said to myself, something has to change. I found a time when I realized I have been a terrible person. I had habits that was not good for me, for the people around me. I realized that there are things in my life that I badly wanted to stand for, but I wasn't able to because I just did not have a system to start with, or that I was simply just clueless and I was not aware of the gravity of the mean and the bad things that I did, like drinking so much almost every day, no future plans, no direction, no willingness to start anything, to learn anything, no accountability. There was nothing in my head to want to start something good for myself. Right now, I have been practicing all these self-work methods. I have been reading, I have been giving myself time doing life reflections, and I also started working on my plans. So since then, I noticed that I am now more serious with life principles and good morals, to which is very opposite to when I was a younger person. Right now, honestly, it feels so good. Obviously, it is a process. You can also do the same. Each of us have our own timeline, but the goal is to be a good and kind person with a strong moral foundation to face life ahead of us. And if you made it this far in the video, I would like to believe that you've also taken some points that are helpful for you and will help you get guided while navigating life. Okay, since there's no power, I'm just gonna stop myself here. Thank you so much, friends, for listening. This is again your friend, your Ate Brit, I'm putting my socials down below and I hope to connect with you there too. But I now leave you with this thing. Be kind to yourself, to your loved one, and to everybody. All right, goodbye. Ciao. Mwah.